Hello, welcome to Kim's Kitchen. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check me out on the rest of my social media platform. TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So today we're gonna work on a pork butt, a pulled pork sandwich, potato salad, like my mom makes, and some baked beans. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to use a pork butt roast. Now, you've heard of a pork loin, you've heard of a pork shoulder. The pork butt is what I use for a pulled pork sandwich. The butt means that it's the part of the shoulder that's at the top versus what's at the leg. So it's just where it butts up to the other piece of meat. Now, a pork butt roast is quite fatty sometimes, and it has a bone in. It can be bone out also, but before I start to roast mine, I always trim this layer of fat off, and sometimes I kind of even open it up and take some of the fat off of that. But that's what gives the flavor to the roast. So the marbling gives the flavor and lets the collagen break down and give the flavor for inside of the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and trim all of this fat off, and then I'm going to open it up a little bit and cut it. But this is what it's going to look like. I'm cooking for a large amount of people right now. So this is about an 8-pound roast, and I will probably do 2 of these. So the roast on a pork butt also cooks down while you cook it. So instead of 8 pounds, I'm probably only really gonna yield about 6 pounds of meat, maybe even 5.5. This one has a bone in it. But the bone, sometimes people think that the bone makes it more flavorful. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim this, and then I will come back on and show you how I put it in the oven. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna cut this lip of the fat off. So I'm going to just pull my knife across as I pull up on the fat and get it cut across the top. Now, if you have a super sharp knife, it'll cut right through that. But that is how you get that's how you get that skin and the lip off the top of the roast. Alrighty, I have it all trimmed up and I'm ready to get it ready to go in the oven. Ready to get it ready, sorry. So, I'm going to cover it pretty heavily because I want to make a crust on the outside of it with salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. So then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to cover this side of it, turn it back over. Now, some people think that you should cook it with the fat side up, and some people think it should be with the fat side down. And here are the 2 reasons why. So if you cook it with the fat side up, that lip part that I trimmed off a lot of it, as it cooks, the fat kind of melts and goes down over the roast, and then it kind of puts a glaze on it. And some people like that. Now, other people put the lip side down so the actual meat part is bare on the top, and that gives you a little bit more crust, and the fat lays in the bottom of the pan and sizzles out. So I am usually a fat side up girl, so that's what I did. Now I'm gonna put about a ½ inch of chicken stock in the bottom of this pan and cover it with a little foil. And I'm going to cook this low and slow. So I'm gonna put it in the oven, covered with foil at about 300 degrees for probably 2 hours. I wanna get it to about 180 degrees. So I have my meat thermometer and I'll check it. My ideal temp of what I wanna eat it at is 205 degrees, about that. So I'm going to cook it at 300 to about 180, and then I'm going to crank it up to about 500 degrees for another 15-20 minutes. That way I will get that crust on the outside, and I'll be able to pull that pork apart, and it'll have that nice crunchy, crisp crunch as you bite into it for your sandwich. So I'm gonna put this in the oven, and then we'll get started on the potato salad. Okay, so now we're gonna get started on the potato salad. Now, rule of thumb, 10 pounds of potatoes makes about 1 gallon and a little bit more. So a gallon of potato salad feeds between 25 and 30 people. So I am going to make 5 pounds of potatoes, and I'm going to use 6 eggs. So 10 pounds of potatoes, a dozen eggs. So I'm gonna cut that recipe in half. And you know, everybody makes potato salad like their mom's potato salad because everybody's mom's potato salad is the best. So I always try and pick out the same size of potato to boil. So if I was going to use a great big one and a small one, this one obviously is going to get done quicker than this one. And really you want everything kind of done at about the same time. So I try and pick out the same size, and if not, I put the bottom one, the largest ones on the bottom, and then I move up with the smaller ones on the top. So I'm gonna put these on the boil with a heavy pinch of salt in there. And then I'm going to also put my 6 eggs on to boil also. And then I like to mix everything up warm in my potato salad. So when my potatoes are done boiling, I will dice them up, and I will dice up my eggs, and we'll show that together. But I will do it right away because I like it when I make it hot. I feel that the mayonnaise mixture that I make soaks into the potato. So I want this potato salad for tomorrow. So I'm making it today, and I will put it in the refrigerator. That way that mayonnaise will soak into the potatoes and actually get a good creamy feel. Now you don't want to overcook your potatoes and make a mashed potato salad. There's a recipe for that, but that's not what I'm making today. So I'm going to put these on the boil, and then when they're ready to go, I will show you how to dice them up and chop them, and I'll give you the magic mixture for my potato salad. Okay, my potatoes have been boiled and my eggs are done. So they're still hot, but they're not, I've let them cool a little bit. So now I'm gonna dice them up just like this. I like to have a nice chunk, so I don't do them too small. And that's why I let them cool a little bit. Otherwise they get, if you do it too hot, they become mashed potatoes. But like I said at the beginning, I really like to make my potato salad while it's still warm. So I feel that the mayonnaise mixture that I make can actually mix right in with the potatoes really well, and it kind of soaks in through that potato. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop these up. And then I also do the same way with the egg. So you just slice it across like this, and then you do it down like that, and then I cut it like that. That way I just have I like a bigger chunk of potato, a smaller chunk of egg. So 5 pounds of potatoes to 6 eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and dice these up, and then I'll come back. Okay, now I'm gonna mix in my mayonnaise. So I always use a real heavy mayonnaise, and I have found that Hellman's is the heaviest, so I use that always. Some people like Miracle Whip, so you could use Miracle Whip, or you could do half Miracle Whip, half Hellman's. Our family is a mayonnaise family, so it's kind of what you grew up with. So I use about 2 cups of mayonnaise, about 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, and then my secret ingredient is celery salt. I don't think I put celery salt in anything else but potato salad. So I put about a full teaspoon of celery salt in it, and then a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. I make this sauce, and then I put it over my potato salad, mix it all in. Now, sometimes, or if I have extra, I think that's good, because tomorrow I'm gonna let this sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning I will totally, I'm sure I'll have to put more mayonnaise in it, because that's the secret. It soaks it in overnight when your potatoes and your eggs are warm. So I'm gonna go ahead, mix this up. I'm gonna be in a hurry tomorrow, so I'll probably make up a little bit more sauce. And then that way in the morning, I can just mix it in, let it soak, and I'll be ready to serve it. So there's my potato salad. I want you to also see what I'm doing with this pulled pork. So notice that I put it back in the oven at 500 degrees for about 20 minutes. So that way it has that nice crunch on it, and it tastes really good that way. Now the pepper and the salt kind of made that that crust. So the thing is with pulled pork, you have to pull it while you're warm. Even though I'm not gonna use it till tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it all. We'll probably eat some of this tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it all in, and I will put it back in the juice, what we don't, so I can warm it up tomorrow. So just so you know, I've cooked 90 pounds of pork, and I've done 50 pounds of potatoes for some potato salad for my friend's party on Sunday. So I'm gonna put this together, and I'll show you what it looks like plated up. All right, I am ready to sit down and chow down. I have cooked a lot of food today. 90 pounds of pork, 50 pounds of potatoes. So I've got myself a cold beer, a pulled pork sandwich, some baked beans, and some potato salad. That is a good old summer meal. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Friday at Kim's Kitchen.